Yes, what's been in the shadow is coming into the light. We are exploring ourselves deeper and deeper as men, as women, as creatures on this planet. Just coming into focus of who we are, trying to focus. What do we focus on? All this grabbing for our attention. That's where I discovered men would just grab at my attention. I really need me now. And this includes anyone that's grabbing too much of my attention, a person, a place, or a thing. So, we are going to cover a lot of what we already have covered in the past, but we're bringing it now into the future, understanding ourselves a whole lot more than when we were just little fledglings, first coming out of our very dark place, but a place that we had to be. And anyone who's been through an abuse of any kind, a trauma of any kind, will especially know what I'm talking about. But the trauma that is behested to you, experienced by you, whatever the word would be, beheld by you, witnessed by you, is the worst if it is a partner that you love. And it could be anything. Maybe that partner is sick and they're an alcoholic and taking you down with them. Maybe they're controllers who control your every move, criticize you. Whatever the form of this domestic abuse is, if your physical body is suffering, that's a sign you have not been listening and taking care of yourself. So my body started telling me things. So I'm taking care of myself. I'm taking care of issues. Now's the time. Yes. So getting on with my project. And there were signs that I experienced, but I will go into those another time. But the empty casket, remember we talked about that? It's the grief process, because it's not as if you have somebody who died and you can have a legitimate response from people. Oh, I'm sorry. They would say if you were a widow or a widower. But when you don't have that, when you had to leave somebody that was really abusive to themselves and to you, you grieve an empty casket. And that's not given voice to. Instead, we women, especially who have left physically abusive men, of all people, know that we are not going to subject ourselves to more abuse, such as what's wrong with us, because we would very quickly answer to you, I let them have way too much of my time, of my attention, of my love, of my forgiveness, of my kind heart. I let them have way too much. And now I know. It's our time. It's time for us, because we're over it. We get it, okay? Forget what people are saying to you about you have to have X, Y, and Z in the bank, because you have zero if you're like me, meaning very little. You have an abundant life. Look how abundantly I live. Look how joyfully I experience my life. Look, I partake of the most wonderful things, that I enjoy myself, that I love deeply. I love my environment. I love creating mythological happiness in my world, so that I have a life worth living. I enjoy it. It's all about me and what I am giving birth to in my life, not what's been done to me. So get that out there in your body, so that you are actually living your life and you're planting your seeds and you're tending to yourself and you're finding the joy of your childhood. Again, because you're creating it. But you go through this shit first, battling. Well, they're your core wounds. So forgo judging your life. Enjoy it. Because this is what I'm saying to myself, and I'm saying to you, I don't care what your life looks like. I care about how your life feels like to you. What does it feel like in your body? And these are all the things that we cover. Being a recovering perfectionist. So bring awareness to your inner critic. I get into perfection paralysis, which makes it difficult for me to finish my works. I've got all kinds of works. And second guessing the self. So these are all things that we have because our actual essential self is new to us. We are like little babies. So learn to feel good with who you are and what your gifts and what you do in your life that bring you happiness. And recognize that if you have this perfection paralysis, it's normal. And just breathe into it and then keep going forward with your dreams. Like, I will complete this book. This is going to be a guidebook. This will be for sale. And if it's completed, the information will be in the description. Otherwise, by all means, come along for the ride. We had all kinds of good times. We talked about how being in a narcissistic relationship is a lot like climbing Mount Everest. You get to a point where it's the death zone. You're going to die if you stay there. Alrighty? So we do that discovery, the grief process. We learn our authenticity. And then we retrieve the lost soul parts. The spiritual kintsugi, of which you can also get your very own kintsugi kit. It's somewhere in this Bon Appetit issue. Can I find it? Well, here it is. This. So you can get that your very own self at pojstudio.com. It looks like a J. P-O-J. It's a very stylized J. So if it's not a J, try... where is it? You see it? Ugh. Well, anyway. I think you see it. There. And it's probably not going to be 133 anymore, because this is Bon Appetit from January of 2023. Oh yeah, there it is, page 23. So we're going to talk about all of that and more in this coming year. Much love to you from me, from my little corner of the universe, where we are experiencing winter garden and catching the sun where we can. It's like, ooh, there it is. There it is. Oh, yeah.